Here's the moment Poppy learns crowns don't make queens. Gods do. Book 3 throws her divine blood onto the political grill, flips it twice, and serves it with a side of betrayal. Pick the throne and lose herself. Refuse it and lose everyone she loves. Easy choice, right? Wrong. Enemies multiply, prophecies scream, and her power wakes up hangry. By the time the crown stops whispering, the world's already on fire, and our girl's the match and the firefighter. We open mid-identity crisis with travel plans. Poppy isn't just chosen anymore, her power is waking up like a volcano with commitment issues. She and Castile are bonded, married adjacent with extra bite marks, and headed straight into Atlantean politics, where smiles are weapons and every oath comes with a hidden clause. Goal board: free his brother, find her brother, and keep two nations from speedrunning a genocide. Simple roadmap, except the road is lined with cults, court gossip, and temples that react to Poppy like motion sensors in a haunted house. The Wolven, they don't just like her, they're hardwired to obey her, which is great for survival and terrible for subtlety. Quick pit stop. If you want more fantasy chaos served hot, smack-like, so the algorithm stops siding with the Blood Crown, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and drop Team Crown or Team Chaos in the comments. Spiciest take gets a shout-out next episode. Just keep your head down, says literally no one, because the second Poppy steps into court, her presence trips every prophecy alarm. She's not some ornamental bride, she's the living cheat code the old gods left behind. That makes her a miracle to some, an abomination to others, and a political nuke to everyone. Diplomacy begins with a trust fall, and no one catches anyone. Atlanteans test her claim. The Blood Crown across the border sharpens knives. Dissenters sniff opportunity like sharks at a cookout, and Poppy's power keeps expanding, not with dainty sparks, but with "oops, I reshaped a battlefield" energy spikes. Helpful? Sure. Calming? Not even a little. Right? But can love fix it? Cute. This is international relations, not couples therapy. Poppy and Castile's bond gives them a unified front and more leverage than is proper. But unity paints a bigger target. The question isn't, will she wear the crown? It's, what price tags are attached and how many bodies will the receipt list? So the table is set. 2 lovers, 1 awakening goddess bloodline, 0 chill. And every faction wants a slice. What could go wrong besides everything? The crown doesn't wait for RSVPs. One public reveal, temple humming, Wolven dropping to their knees, power flaring like a solar tantrum, and Poppy's maybe becomes, "Your Majesty, try not to explode." The room gets 2 kinds of quiet, devotion and fear. Both are bad for subtle diplomacy. Enter the Blood Crown, stage left, with the charm of attacks, audit. Their message travels faster than ravens. If Poppy is what the whispers claim, she's a threat to be erased or exploited. Pick one. Meanwhile, Atlanteans aren't exactly unified. Half the court measures her for a throne, the other half measures her for shackles. Cute family? Then fate pulls a petty move. News about Castile's brother and Poppy's brother drops like twin anvils. Rescue missions? Plural. Because clearly we needed side quests during a regime change speedrun. And while they argue strategy, Poppy's abilities keep leveling up in all the ways you don't want in polite society. Veins of power, ancient memory echoes, the whole "are you a conduit or the storm" dilemma. Is this the moment to pick a lane, queen, weapon, or runaway bride? Naturally, she picks door 4. Move now. Waiting is for people who aren't living prophecies and don't glow under stress. Right? Wrong. Moving paints a bigger target. Diplomacy, but make it gladiatorial. Every meeting turns into a vibe check with knives. The dissenters test Poppy like she's a counterfeit coin. Tap, listen, try to break her. The ascended across the border do less testing and more sending of friendly messages that read like threats in florid calligraphy. And Solus? Think HOA from hell, except the dues are your bloodline. Poppy's Wolven bond stops being a fun party trick and becomes logistics. Armies move because she breathes. Rooms tense because she frowns. You can't sneak when the wildlife forms a security perimeter just to say hi. Advantage? Battlefield. Disadvantage? Literally everywhere else. Road trip diplomacy kicks off. One city greets her with reverence. The next greets her with a riot and a theological quiz. She heals, she harms, she's begged to bless newborns and asked to smite old enemies. No pressure, just reinvent monarchy and theology before lunch. Meanwhile, the Blood Crown lures and lashes. They dangle prisoners, fake terms, and bad faith treaties like candy over a tiger pit. Lay down your claim and we'll talk. Translation: surrender first, breathing optional. And inside Atlantia? Not sunshine either. Old bloodlines have long memories and longer ledgers. Some prefer a pliable queen. Spoiler, Poppy didn't come in pliable. Every success costs something. Rescue one ally, lose leverage with another. Spare a city, ignite a frontier. The ledger goes red while the prophecies get louder, like someone left fate on speakerphone. Poppy starts asking smarter, sharper questions. Who benefits if she loses control? Who keeps nudging her toward public power displays that make diplomacy impossible? Then, a knife in the dark, figuratively and almost literally. A friendly house stages an ambush dressed up as tradition, casual betrayal chic. The fallout forces Poppy to make a promposal to violence. She can end this fast by leaning into the thing everyone fears she is. Or she can keep playing politics and watch the body count climb. So she escalates, but not blindly. She draws a red line and backs it with actual firepower. Enemies blink first for once. Brief silence, a terrible sign. Because when predators go quiet, they're not scared. They're synchronized. And the synchronized move is coming for her. Heart and her crown at the same time. The pivot isn't a speech, it's a detonation. Poppy stops asking, "Am I allowed?" and starts announcing, "Here's how it's going to be." The room doesn't clap. It kneels. Wolven first, then the slow cascade of people who suddenly realize they're in the presence of someone who could vaporize their family grudges before breakfast. Subtle? No. Effective? Painfully. Here's the reframe. She's not auditioning for queen. She is the crown, on legs with opinions. The title isn't a prize she wins, it's a responsibility she chooses, and choice is the point. Because prophecy loves to pretend people are puppets. Poppy calls its bluff. You want destiny? Fine. It can ride shotgun. She's driving. That shift rearranges the chessboard. Diplomacy upgrades from please like me to we'll make peace on terms that don't require my soul as a down payment. Enemies who fed on her hesitation get indigestion. Allies who needed certainty get a full meal. And Castile? He doesn't step in front of her. They step in together. That's not romance. That's strategy. 2 centers of gravity, 1 trajectory. Micro hook time. Power embraced usually brings peace, right? Cute thought. In reality, it just unlocks a new difficulty setting. Once you declare what you are, every villain in 100 miles wants to test the warranty. And they don't send flowers, they send chains. This is the moment the plot stops orbiting the crown and starts orbiting Poppy, which means the next hit won't be symbolic, it'll be personal. Then the trap snaps. Smiles at court turn into fangs in a dungeon. The negotiation with the Blood Crown was always just a menu, and Castile's name was the entree. He's taken, fast, surgical, like they practiced it, leaving Poppy with a crown-shaped hole and a choice nobody sane wants: scorch the map to get him back, or play by rules written by people who burn villages as icebreakers. Worse, the betrayal isn't distant, it's intimate. A trusted path opens at the worst possible moment, and suddenly the hallways don't lead to safety. They funnel her into a private apocalypse. It's not just the lover stolen, it's the leverage stolen. Hostage math kicks in, and every rival realizes they can yank her chain by yanking his. Her power surges, unhelpfully. The kind of surge that cracks stone and terrifies allies who needed calm, not earthquakes. For a hot minute, she wonders if the prophecy wanted this. Isolate her, push her toward the monster version of herself that ends wars by ending everyone. And the Wolven, they're ready to die for her, which only adds pressure. If she moves now, cities fall. If she waits, Castile bleeds. Heads, tragedy. Tails, also tragedy. Leadership is a coin toss where both sides are knives. So she does the most painful, rational thing. She takes the hit. She absorbs the loss, locks down the impulse to raise kingdoms, and chooses the long, ugly road. The board looks lost. The queen looks cornered? That's the point. When you cage a storm, you don't get silence. You get focus. Poppy stops being reactive and starts running plays. She maps the Blood Crown's pressure points, the old god's weak seams, and her own limits, and then she treats those limits like a rumor. No reckless blaze of glory rescue, instead, precision. She weaponizes truth too, forcing courts to face what the Ascended actually are and what their peace has cost. facts as daggers, receipts as artillery. The power-up isn't fireworks, it's control. She learns to channel without shattering, to command Wolven without drowning in them, to heal and harm with intent, not panic. And she makes a queen move. Redefine the crown. It isn't a gold hat, it's the consent of people who are done being harvested. That's how you dethrone a myth. You pull back the curtain and let everyone see who's pulling the levers. Then the board flips. A daring exchange, a brutal confrontation, and the kind of reveal that rearranges bloodlines and bedtime stories. Poppy isn't just descended from power, she is the return of it. The message lands on every battlefield. Negotiations are over, terms are changing. Does that fix everything? Please. It merely upgrades the war. But now, the side with a future has a leader who can actually build one, and burn anyone who insists otherwise. The last page doesn't close. It growls. Castile's fate is leverage. The Blood Crown is sharpening the world's worst engagement ring, and Poppy, she's done asking nicely. The gods are awake, the Wolven are humming, and the crown finally fits, like brass knuckles. Next stop, knocking on Solis's front door and returning everything they've ever mailed out. Postage due. If this breakdown leveled you up, subscribe and bell up so you don't miss part 4. Share this with that friend who says, it's just a romance. Right? Wrong. See you in Solis. Bring snacks and a fireproof cloak.